All right, guys, so I figured I would show this video just to share kind of a little bit of optimism for any of you who possibly are looking for a new place to live, you're moving to a new area, or you may even have thought about buying a house in this crazy, crazy market that we're in right now. And I hope that this video really shows you that anything is possible. You can upgrade your living situation and that you can actually live in a setting, in a situation that you enjoy, feel safe and happy with, and are okay with, even in times like this where it may be almost impossible for you to maybe buy a house, maybe you're moving to a new area. So what I'm doing right now is walking around inside a house that I rent a room from. This concept is basically the old school classic landlording concept. I do not own this home. My goal is to achieve a status of home ownership so that I can be the owner on the side of the receiving the checks for rent. So the house is fairly large. It's newer. As you can see, it's pretty nice. It's got some tall ceilings. And some of you may say, man, how do you deal with having roommates? How do you bear with that? Let me tell you something. Through COVID and through the illness and everything, it's been very much a blessing to have other people, in the same house and to really just be able to talk and connect occasionally. Sometimes we come into the kitchen and you will find that you're really glad that there's other people that live with you. One of the things I will say about living in a house with other people is you want to make sure that the landlord or the owner is somebody who is vetting the tenants with a background check and with a credit check if possible. And that's something that ensures you're living with folks who are financially responsible, at least enough to get approved to live here. And then you're also living with folks who have had a background check. So there's no criminal history. There's nothing to be concerned about with that. Once you achieve those two things and you find that you get along with the current tenants, if you're coming into a situation, you can really just rest easy in knowing that you're in a good setup. So one of the things I like about living in a house hack is that it allows me to pay a rent price that's very, very affordable when you compare it to the comps for like a single bedroom apartment or something like that. It's very nice to know that I can have room to, spread out, room to relax, have my own space, and still share a fairly large living space with other people. One of the cool things about when you live in a house with other people is the fact that you get to have that discounted rent payment. So through COVID, getting out of breath walking up so many steps, it's been very useful for me to have a low payment on rent. And one of the things I did right around the middle of 2020 was move to a better living situation. So I had been doing this same concept of house hacking with another house. And what I decided to do was move from that situation into this one. And one of the reasons for that was because I knew that the one I was in wasn't in the greatest location. It was in a great spot, great town, but locationally, it was a bit far from my office. That's what I mean. So nothing else other than that. But that's it. Yeah, I hope that if you have any questions on house hacking and what it's like to live in a house with roommates and how to leverage that to get your cost of housing down, which is known to be the top expense for most Americans, leave comments down below. I've been doing this for about 5 years and it's allowed me to live a very rich lifestyle, a very nice lifestyle with a discounted cost of living, because the way I live now is in a house that costs, well over $250,000 in a nice neighborhood in a great area and location. And yes, I only rent technically one room, but I get to experience living in this wide open big house, which is literally costing me less than half what it would cost to have a single bedroom apartment in a half as nice area. So what you get for leveraging volume of renters really, really surpasses understanding, in my opinion. I don't want to live in a situation like this for long. Yes, I could easily afford living on my own in my own apartment, but this really allows me to get into a situation that is really wise. And I don't want to be living alone. I'm not at a point where I'm married, so of course I don't want to live alone. And I really don't want to have a high rent payment. So what's the best thing? The alternative would be to get into a house hacking situation. So here I am, walking through the house. Hopefully get a little glimpse from the backgrounds while I'm walking around, what the house looks like a little bit, and gives you an idea. So I think the main reason I'm making this video is to say a lot of you are probably looking at maybe moving to a new area, or even moving to a different town or state, and you're wanting to buy a house, but you're realizing it's going to be really hard to do so, and almost maybe next to impossible just given the current markets. And so what I could really recommend to you is house hack with other renters. Make sure, again, that the landlord confirms that their tenants are required to pass a background check as well as a credit check, because then you're not going to be living with people who are shiesty or, just, you know what I'm saying. So you want to make sure you've got a good situation. Now, if you're someone who can't pass a credit check, in terms of like you have a really bad credit score, a lot of these owners of these homes are not going to outright rule you out. So don't take it the wrong way. It's really just for their own peace of mind, their own kind of safety and assurance that if they let you into their home that they own, they are going to get paid each month for you using their property. So that's it, man. Like, look behind me. Look at this kitchen. There's a huge kitchen, nice granite countertops, 9-10 foot ceilings. The fixtures aren't like the best, but the house is nice. You know what I mean? We got a gas fireplace there. It works. I'm just grateful to live in a situation like this during Corona. Oh, I'm gonna have to probably bleep that out. During the illness, and having the companionship of other renters with you also helps helps you to keep a level head. And look, I'm out of breath from walking so much in this video. Now we're back to where we started in the kitchen. So that goes to show how much space I have versus if I had just my own single or even 2-bedroom apartment, or even a condo, quite frankly. So look at the cost of living and don't be too stuck on, I have to buy a house. If you can't, you can't. And so what's the next best option? Now, if you are single, fine. If you're married and you guys need a space to call your own, I would recommend finding a duplex where you can do something similar, but you're going to have the other side of that property being rented by renters. So your rent could be significantly lower than if you were to rent out a whole house. But that is another option. You could always rent a house for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope that you got something from it, and I'm literally out of breath. This is really sad. Much love, and do me a favor and hit the like button down below, as well as the subscribe button, so we can hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of August. Much appreciated, and until next time, see ya.